What's up, gamers? We are back with more Starfield, picking up basically right where we left off. As I mentioned at the end of the last video, I think today we are going to be focusing on our friend Barrett. So let's waste no time. Barrett wants to talk to us. I think he's going to have a mission for us. Let's see what we can do to help him out.
You know, I needed this. Exploring the galaxy with you by day, investigating the mysterious legal woes of my long-dead spouse by night.
I love adventure and mystery, but a little romance is nice too. uh, We're not on a strict day-night schedule. I'm glad to see your sense of humor is back. Did it ever leave? What else were you hoping for?
Hey, I'm not complaining. Honestly, these have been some of the best days of my life in a long time. I mean that.
We're not on a strict day-night schedule.
That sounds like something Vasco would say. I was just remembering how I'd pour my heart out to Vasco. So many times. I told him all about Irvin. He showed me a chart of how sad I should expect to feel.
Did you travel with anyone else other than Vasco?
Sure, folks from the lodge, folks from my past. I've got friends when and where I need them. But traveling with you has been different. We're more of a team. It feels stronger.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say, Barrett. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying traveling with me. I'm definitely enjoying your company on our adventures. You talked to Vasco about Irvin?
Why not? Trust me, I've talked to way less sentient humans before. Vasco's just fine for most conversations.
True. No, I find Vasco to be delightful, so I don't blame you at all. He had a sadness by he had a sadness by time chart.
He was really hoping the visual presentation would help. It did not.
It did not. I'm sure Vasco was a reliable co-pilot.
Oh, we got to point B many times just fine. Top-notch co-pilot. Would recommend him to anybody. Anyway, I'm glad you're here right now because we have things to discuss about Irvin's case.
I thought
I
we
heard
might.
back from my contact. They
Right.
looked into Hephaestus Mining Corporation. Looks like they paid off the judge.
Ooh.
And that's not all. My contact really came through for us. Turns out the witness was threatened until he withdrew his testimony. And thanks to our contact, we now have the receipts.
I love having the receipts. We should hire a lawyer now. We need more evidence. Do you have the actual evidence with you?
No, my contact does for now. I trust them. We worked together a long time ago. And it depends on what I want to do with all the proof, if anything.
What's the proof Hephaestus paid the judge?
Bank transactions. A precise amount was transferred to the judge only the day before the ruling.
I mean, what's the proof the witness was
My
threatened?
contact has an audio log with the identity of the speaker verified, time-stamped, everything.
What am I supposed to choose here? Like, that sounds like pretty good evidence. Should I suggest we hire a lawyer or say that we need more? Hmm. I mean, well, like I want him to take the lead on this. I just want to be a follower, really. Um, Ooh, this. Well, why does this feel like such a hard decision for me to make? I'm actually like really struggling to decide which one of these dialogues to choose.
And
Yeah, we need more evidence. I mean, if there's a way that I can go on a mission to get more evidence, I'd like to take that. I'd like to do that. But I mean, I'm also down to like go to court. Like my concern is that if I click this, he's gonna be like, no, we need more evidence first. We need more
I
evidence.
tend to agree. It's interesting, but not enough to take it to a lawyer yet.
Ah, good.
So I know a
chose
cyber
correctly.
runner who has accessed corporate archives before. They can dig into the classified archives before we go to a lawyer. We can pay extra for them to use less legal methods to obtain information, but that adds risk.
What happens if we're caught?
I don't know. I guess that's a good question for a lawyer.
Right. Let's not press our luck.
That's definitely wise and absolutely why I'm glad I asked you. I think I can do some digging in public records on my own. So I might. That's much safer. Depending on what they find out, it might be time to talk to a lawyer. I'll see if I can find one. Whew. Taking on Hephaestus isn't going to be easy. And I say this as someone with actual superpowers. Why couldn't I have gotten something more useful? Like the art of cross-examination. Might have come in handy at the trial.
Do you have any other dead loved ones with mysteries to solve?
Well, my long-lost cousin had this farmstead that was taken over by pirates. I'm just kidding. But no, probably not.
I think you'll need a nice long massage to de-stress. A wink. They really want me to start pursuing Barrett, but I'm not interested, Barrett. I think that's the lawyer's job. Let's focus on gathering evidence.
That's solid advice. Know your actual limitations, and not the ones granted to you by a mysterious superpower. Anyway, let's go adventure while we wait on the cyber runner to get back to us.
Okay. So I was wrong again. Barrett's quest does not continue. Well, I mean, doesn't launch from this point. It's just another, like, it's his quest is actually really interesting. It's not following the pattern that Andrea and Sarah's stuff followed. It seems more like I'm helping him figure out what to do about his legal troubles and giving him advice. And then he's like taking my advice, and eventually, I assume eventually there's gonna be a trial. But I don't know. I'm like, I keep waiting for it to be a mission, like it was for Sarah and Andrea, and it's not that yet. But that's okay. We have a mission we're working on. I think we're nearing the end of this, so maybe this will be the conclusion of the UC Vanguard faction quest. I'm definitely excited to get back into it. What we learned at Londinian suggests the terramorph attacks on New Atlantis might have been intentional. Our only lead, though, is Ve Victus. He's 1,000% responsible. I need to talk to him and find out what he might know. What I really need to do is execute him, but the game won't let me do that, so I guess we're going to go talk to him. I apparently have contraband on me, so let's drop that off somewhere first. I don't know if it'll even fit in here, but... Oh, you know what it is, though? It's going to be Aurora. Yeah. Oh, and that'll probably... Yeah, perfect. We'll just stash that here for wanting to have a... Son of a... Okay, bear with me. It would seem I need to do some problem solving. Apparently I have 800 credits on my ship. Now, I know this says Aurora Stash, but it's not actually contraband. So that's fine. It must be... Actually, hold on. Let me... Sorry, I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. Whenever I take even like a 2-hour break from this game, when I get back into it, I just end up pressing every wrong button that's possible to press wrong. I don't know why. My fingers lose all the muscle memory in between play sessions. Okay, apparently we have a Xeno warfare tech on us. Alright, third tries the charm, I hope. Beautiful. Time to go confront Ve Victus. And hopefully this game's going to let us actually confront him.
When humanity left Earth, I bet most of them were worried we'd never find another planet like it again. I wonder how they felt when they landed on Jemison.
Yeah, I mean, Jemison's nice and all. So it's worth mentioning probably that between videos, I did...
I knew a place like this had to exist. I just never thought I'd actually be in it.
Yeah, I've never brought Barrett down here
Authorized
before,
personnel
so...
only. Your friend has to stay here.
Oh, sure.
Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by...
Sergeant Grimface here are going to become good friends. You know, I served in the UC a long time ago. Boy, do I have some stories to tell. Might want to get comfy. Go on, Captain. We'll be right here till you get back.
Alright, thanks, Barrett. Sorry, that was really interesting dialogue. Barrett had a lot more to say than anyone else I've brought down here. I've completely lost my train of thought now. Right, so between videos, like I said I was going to do, I did look up that quest. Those voices that we heard were not... Victus is in some kind of state down there. Those voices we heard were not like someone else that needed help or anything like that. It must have just been Hadrian both times. There was nothing special about that quest. We didn't mess anything up. We didn't miss anything. So we can move on with a clear conscience. We didn't mess it up. There is like that final part of that quest where I was fighting the like alpha terramorph. It wasn't called an alpha terramorph, but you know what I mean. It was the anomaly, terramorph anomaly, I think is what they actually called it. There is like a mini game you can do during that battle where you go and like boot up some like satellite dish things that will disrupt the terramorph's like control over the local fauna so that the other animals that we're attacking don't attack you. But I was able to put down the terramorph pretty quickly, so we didn't end up like, and then all the animals were passive afterwards. That's what had me so confused. But basically, they're naturally passive animals that the terramorph was using against us, and I didn't quite understand what was going on at the time. But we did fine, is the point. So no need to reload and replay that quest or anything like that. Alright, Victus. I'm just curious if I can avoid, like, immediately talking to him. See, he's standing there looking at a slate. I don't know. Let's just sit down and confront the dude.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to tell me about your time in Londinian?
I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for?
Don't play dumb. We know you were behind the attacks on New Atlantis and Tau Ceti.
Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that?
Should have aimed better when you bombed Londinian. We found evidence there tying you to the attacks.
That's quite the claim, Captain. I hate to think what would happen if such a patently untrue statement reached the ears of the cabinet. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Oh, he had me for a minute there. I was like, is he really gonna deny this? And then I was like, oh, he's giving me the old wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Right. I mean, I guess way back at the beginning of, I've been so distracted by my hatred of Victus that I sort of like had blocked out that at the beginning of this quest, like when you first meet him, he mentions that he's got this like task force that he uses to track down war criminals from the colony wars on behalf of the United Colonies. That's why he's been given so much latitude and power
You have my undivided
in this
attention.
prison cell. And he heavily implied that he wanted to speak to me because he's interested in recruiting me into that program after I'm done working with the Vanguard, and he even like called that thing I did for him that he made me do before he would tell me anything, basically tying up one of his loose ends, which I hated. He framed that as like a trial run for me to join his little merc squad, but I of course have zero freaking interest. I think this is another part of that, like I can cover up for him if I want to. And so it's interesting, like as anyone watching this will be aware, I am basically doing faction stuff at the end of my playthrough. That the whole point of these bonus episodes, and the why I'm calling them bonus episodes, is we finished the main story, but there were other factions that I didn't end up doing things for or going along with because they didn't really jive with the character I was role playing. And maybe I'm a crazy person for even role playing in RPGs. I mean, I know they're called role playing games, but most people are just like, oh, just do what I like as long as it doesn't affect other things. Why would you not do this, that, and the other thing? But I like to always
Something amiss, Captain?
go in with a character in mind that has certain lines they won't cross, and then to play the game as that character and sort of like it enhances the experience for me. So that's why I focused on the Freestart Collective. I did help UC Sistef, but there was like a choice between them and the Crimson Fleet, so that was not too difficult a choice to make. And then I did the main story. Am I forgetting a whole faction that I did stuff for? I guess not really, right? Did a lot of side quests, but like just in general, I avoided side quests that required me to steal things or do shady stuff, or that would, force me to harm other people just to help the person I was doing the quest for. And certainly quests that involved me killing people. I avoided just wholesale. So after my main playthrough, after I finished the story, I decided to like loosen those restrictions a bit so that I could like, swear fealty to the United Colonies to do the UC Vanguard quest, which we're in the middle of right now. I could, put my moral qualms aside to do the Ryujin faction quests, which I did. That was super
You
fun
have
also.
my undivided attention.
So there's definitely a part of me that's like, maybe I should just cover this up for Vevictus to see what, like, sort of stuff is going to be offered to me. Like, presumably there's content locked behind siding with Vevictus, right? You're going to get to join his little merc squad, and I assume it's basically like unlocking a special mission board where he's going to, like, give me war criminals to hunt down. It's probably a whole side quest like sequence of events that you can do where you hunt down all these war criminals for the United Colonies. But
Biding your time then?
because I feel so strongly in favor of the Freestar Collective over the UC, and I feel so strongly against Vevictus because of he's just a horrible person, and I don't know. I feel like there's no part of me that's interested in seeing what will happen if you decide to just throw your morals out the window and cover for him. So we're of course going to expose him. Is basically what I'm getting around to. So you really don't know anything about the attacks. Is that what you're claiming? I've got no plans to tell anyone. I just want to know the truth. Neither of those. Sorry, I'm telling the cabinet what we learned. Consider this your chance to come clean. Yeah, like, what are these other choices? This one says no more lies, and that starts out real strong. Confess, still strong. Or, wait, why is the word or in there? I turn over what I found. Like, no, this, 100 times this. Sorry, I'm telling the cabinet what we learned. Consider this your chance to come clean.
You know you're far more clever than I expected.
Ha!
You want to hear the words then?
I sure do.
The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti. New Atlantis. My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon.
I really hope we're recording all this.
Being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Because you're a madman and a murderer, and you live to sow death. I mean, it's like, it's not that complicated. He's a sociopath. He thinks like that's best for him, best for his career, best for him leveraging his position as a leader amongst the United Colonies hierarchy, best for him in, if the United Colonies prospers, then he also prospers type of thing. With a weapon like that, he could just wipe out the entirety of the Freestar Collective, pretty much dismantle them, and
Something amiss, Captain?
make it so the entire settled systems is under United Colonies control. Like, I mean, I like this first dialogue option. It's very strong, but it might be a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit of hyperbole, yeah. To work on something that long, this seems personal. No better way to show the UC what a deadly weapon they have in the Lazarus plant than to use it. I already know who his associate is. It's that guy he had me kill at the very beginning of
You
this
have
all.
my undivided attention.
I mean, I guess it's worth asking. I get a feeling that this won't advance the dialogue since it's so disconnected from the question he just asked. So I'm gonna say it in the hopes that it will not advance the dialogue. Associate, who have you been working
All
with?
in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
Uh, I don't know. I don't like any of these answers. I don't feel like any of them is quite right. Right? He made a cost benefit analysis back in the midst of the colony wars when it came to
Something
Londinium.
amiss, Captain?
He decided that if the UC could develop that Xeno warfare technology without anyone being aware that they were working on it and then deploy it, they could very easily take over the entirety of the settled systems. It would be a huge ace in their pocket. He deemed it was so important for it to not get out that they had figured out about that weapon, that he killed a bunch of his own troops to keep it a secret.
You have my undivided attention.
I mean, I don't know that it's something personal. He just seems like he's just a psychopath, you know? I mean, this is the answer he wants me to say. But I don't like giving him what he wants, you know? Like based on the options I'm seeing here, and he just said he's like assessing me to see if I am as clever as he would consider this the clever response, right? But no, because you're a madman and a murderer and you live to sow death.
Hardly. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once: halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Please, no secret is so dangerous that you can justify condemning so many lives. You just said it took you years to use the plant outside Londinian. You killed them for nothing. That information should have been handed over. Secured it to keep it from ever being used? That doesn't seem grammatically correct. You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
Biding your time, then?
No, I'm just deciding whether or not I even care to hear your answer to this question. Please, no secret is so dangerous that you can justify condemning so many
Easy to
lives.
say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy?
Dude, screw your
No.
legacy.
We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
It's all right. I'm a little annoyed, game, because you gave me like 3 dialogue options to choose to answer his question, and y'all are witness. I said like this is his actual motivation. He's a sociopath, and he cares about his own personal gain and what he can use as leverage. And the game did not give me that as an option to choose, so I chose the like best option I felt like for that moment. What I felt was the best option, at least based on my 3 bad choices. And then he's like no, this is how I feel. And he says exactly what I said. Like he's like, I'm a sociopath, and I thought I could use it for my own gain and to get myself and my daughter back into good standings with the UC, and to use it as leverage, and to blah 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 blah. Like, bro. I'll have you know, I knew that, Vevictus. You didn't need to tell me any of that. I read you like a book, buddy. And why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as a... That's a dumb question. How could you have coordinated all this from in here? Oh my God. I am really struggling with my words today. I am curious about this one, so I'm probably going to ask it.
You have
Orlace, why does that name sound
undivided
familiar?
attention.
I'm not going to ask that. That's dumb. I killed him. That was the thing that Vevictus had us do that I was feeling some kind of way about. I was like, can't we use our leverage over him? Why is he using leverage over us? Like, he's in prison. He's on borrowed time. So you murdered UC citizens because of some slight against your honor. You're sick. I definitely want to say this. This one for sure I want to say. I assume this won't advance the dialogue. I really am curious about this one. I know they gave him like he has like a task force out there, but
Biding your time then?
he must have coordinated with someone willing to do really shady shit in order to unleash the attack on New Atlantis. I mean, that was after... Wait, was that after I did the thing with Orlace? No. It wasn't. So he used Orlace coordinated that. Yeah, so let's just get right to business. So you murdered UC citizens because of some slight against your honor. You're sick.
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's
No,
why
only
I
you benefited.
had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done.
And Hadrian deserves
Isn't that
that.
preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the
No,
vague
it's
hopes
not.
of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
They'd be honoring me for cleaning up your messes.
You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine.
Absolutely
I've already
fucking
sent
not.
along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement.
I'm gonna
All I
stick your
ask
involvement
is that
right
you
back in
confirm
there
as
where it
much to the
belongs.
cabinet.
I will
Tell them
not
that it was
confirm that.
Orlez and Orlez alone.
I will not tell them that,
After
no.
all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC.
Oh, yeah, see, this is what I was
This
talking
needn't be
about.
the end of our good works together.
No, bite me. I hope you've enjoyed this talk, because once I tell the cabinet, it'll probably be your last.
That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think
I
about the
think we
opportunity
need
I've provided
to
here.
be enemies.
There are more on the horizon. If you do the right thing.
Yeah, I absolutely intend to do the right thing, I can promise you that much. But you and I have very different definitions of what that is. Oh man, he's got me all kinds of heated right now. Let me out.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Right. Hold on. I confronted Victus and he confessed. He organized the attacks on New Atlantis and Tau Ceti as part of a plot to undo the damage done to the Sinan family name. Yeah, what a psychopath. So Hadrian is completely innocent. I think we've sort of established she had no idea this was going on. She didn't even know Victus was still alive until I told her. So if Hadrian ends up benefiting from this, I'm fine with that. And I'm not going to try to sabotage anything with Hadrian. If she asked me, did Hadrian know? Was she involved? I'm going to be like, absolutely not. She's innocent. This was all Victus' doing. But am I going to let him, get away with this? If there's any way for me to make sure he meets his maker, I am going to do so. But now I have a choice. Share the truth that Victus is responsible. I don't need to read the rest because that's what we're doing. Let's go share the truth, shall we? What? Did I go to the wrong place? Hold on. Oh, speak to Hadrian and Percival. Okay. I was like, the cabinet chambers is over there, so why? But no, I'm caught up.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan
Okay,
should
good.
work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering
Okay.
what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already
yeah.
sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed.
Okay.
So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Balls. Hold on one sec.
Hey, you're not done, right?
Sorry about that, gamers. I've been running into this problem lately where I get a bunch of spam calls at night uh, in the typical time slot where I'm trying to play this game, and they come from not like I miss the good old days where all the spam calls would come from numbers that were like the same area code as my phone is in, and because I never get any calls from that actual area code because I haven't lived there in like decades, I can just ignore
Don't leave me in
the
suspense.
calls from that area code. Like I know that they're spam calls, um, but they've started being smart and calling me from area codes where I'm actually like I'm not sure if that's an important call I should be taking or not. Uh, which sucks. Like, so I had to take that call to see. It was just a spam call, but like, I keep forgetting to like, what I want to be doing is turning my ringer off when I start these streams so that I don't get like interrupted really rudely in the middle of my stream by a phone call. But what ends up happening is
Captain? Captain, please, go on.
when I do that, I forget to turn my ringer back on. And so what'll happen is I'll like miss like 30 calls the next day because I use it for my work phone too. So I like need the ringer to be on, and I'll miss like a bunch of work calls and get in trouble for that. And then I'll be like, oh, I can't believe that. And I'll turn my ringer back on. And then that night I'll be like, all right, time to stream. And suddenly I'll be getting like phone calls and it'll be ringing really loudly in my mic. And I have to like stop the stream and stop what I'm doing, and then like videos that could have maybe gone up raw, I have to edit them because I have to edit out like this
Hey, you're not
conversation
done,
I'm having
right?
right now is just for Twitch. Just for anyone who's watching this on Twitch, like I'm sorry, all this will be edited out of the YouTube video, but like it's such a pain that I have to do that because some mother trucking spam caller is calling me and I forgot to shut off the ringer on my phone. So it's off now, but it's almost guaranteed that I'll forget to turn it back on when I'm done with this stream, and I'm gonna miss calls tomorrow, which is a work day, and it's awful. I don't know what a good solution for that is. It's I know there are like things on the phone for that, like do not disturb mode. But like that, it's the same problem. Like I'll put it on do not disturb mode, but then like I'll forget to take
Don't
it
leave
off
me in
of do not disturb
suspense.
mode. Anyway, just so that it's really clean, so that editor me has a really easy time with this, I'm gonna go ahead and load the autosave from when I came up to mast, and we'll take things from there. Okay, let's see. We've got to speak to Hadrian and Percival, presumably before we meet with the cabinet. I just noticed that this final, what I assume is the final quest, in the series is like really. It's only got these two like objectives so far. Quests usually run really long, so I'm surprised. This feels like the end of the whole faction series of quests, but maybe we're gonna, maybe there's gonna be more to this than I'm thinking there is. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. So they are in here. Hey, Hadrian. I met with Victus. He's as much as a dick as always.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Yeah. So, I think I've sort of over time decided that I'm going to go with, like, if they give me a choice. I assume that they're going to give me a choice. I'm going to go with well, I can't. No braining. I'm going to go with the microbe solution to the terramorph problem because, theoretically, well, like, if we introduce those creatures onto alien worlds, it's always going to be this, like, they can't really respond to the threat
Captain? Captain, please, go on.
as quickly as they would maybe need to. Like, if someone brings a heat leech slash terramorph from a world that we don't introduce the Cellies to, so they're able to, like, survive, and they bring a heat leech and they use the Lazarus plant on it, and there's a terramorph, like, okay, that terramorph can do a lot of damage before, some big apex predator is able to put them in their place, right? But if we release microbes into the atmosphere so that it's just like a toxic for any terramorphs or heat
Don't leave me
leeches
in
to be
suspense.
present on that world, that's like just like a quicker response. It's more efficient, I feel. It definitely carries risks. Like, if that microbe mutates and suddenly it's wiping out all of humanity, that'd be bad. But I don't think we're going to see any consequences for either of those choices in the game. I think it's just like an arbitrary choice that doesn't ultimately make any difference. In fact, I don't know why it exists. So maybe there is some difference I'm not thinking about. But anyway, enough rambling.
Captain?
I've decided.
Captain, please, go on.
Oh my God. I I'm gonna replay this. I've too much rambling. Too much rambling. We need to get to it. We need to get to it. I'm gonna get to it this time. This is for the YouTube folks. They won't know. They won't know that I replayed this 3 times because I was struggling with phone calls and other nonsensical crap. All right, let's do it. I have to go over there. Ah, perfect. Yes, let's fill these guys in before we meet with the cabinet. Hadrian.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Victus confessed he organized the attacks from his cell.
I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it?
That was weird. Was that audio weird for you, gentle viewer? It almost sounded like the voice actress had to do 2 separate takes and they had to splice them together in post because it seemed, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to put this kind of pressure on her. I don't want her to feel guilt over what she's accomplished because she really
Hey, you're not
accomplished most of
done,
these things
right?
quite on her own and separate from Victus's influence. So it's not worth recounting. The man's a sick mind.
Probably a good approach. I'm sure the UC interrogators will be able to get to the bottom of it.
If he only had a sick mind, it would be treatable. But he isn't sick. He chose to be like this. He has no excuse for what he's done.
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again.
I 100% agree with Barrett. I don't know where he actually was. The camera did a bad job of aiming at him right there, but he he feels the passion I do. Barrett is a kindred spirit. If I'd had any dialogue option that was more strongly worded, like I agree with you. He's not a sick mind. He's a sick. He's like it's not that his mind is sick. It's that his mind is monstrous. you know. What do you think the cabinet will do to him?
My hope would be that whatever connections he's got to the outside world disappear.
Yeah.
Make sure his future schemes and machinations stay in his cell with him.
Yeah,
But honestly,
yeah.
I'm not sure. He's in a unique position and has done a special kind of harm to the colonies.
I hope he's put to death. He deserves punishment.
Exactly. Bring justice to everyone he's hurt. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all.
All right, I'm ready.
Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Right. I mean, they just went over this, so I don't feel the need to ask that. It's interesting. There's nothing like this for what kind of risks are there if we decide to use the microbes. Maybe that's because I've already asked that before, so they took it off the dialogue tree. What do you think the cabinet will do when they learn about Victus's involvement in the attack?
It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him.
I was thinking about suggesting in the other direction, but good to know that I might have some input there. I mean, assuming they're going to make me choose at some point, let's hear this, because I'm leaning towards the microbes, and I want to be further talked into the microbes. What kind of risks are there if we decide to bring back the Asylees?
Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Which method of dealing with the terramorphs are you two leaning towards?
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll listen to what the cabinet thinks about it. Nothing else on my end. Let's head in there.
And here we go.
All right, next quest objective is address the cabinet. Let's do a save. I haven't done any manual saves yet this whole play session, so... Oh, Barrett was like outside the room. That's why I looked at the wall when he was talking. Barrett, if you don't... Where did that man just... Barrett, chill, brother. Just walk, man. If you just walk...
Need something? You got it. Hello, Captain. Gladly. Excuse me, what? Okay. Right.
I was hoping that would fix his pathing so he'd come in here with me, but it looks like it is not going to fix, so it is what it is. Wow, look at this.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike.
And the
Is
second
what
one I
I'm
just
reading here true?
received. Is that second report from who I think it's from?
This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
That's correct, ma'am. It was a deliberate attack.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays?
Hadrian, I think you should tell them. I'm sorry, I need a moment to verify something. Can I really, like, step away at this point? Like, go back down and talk to Vivictus? Like, hey, Vivictus, I need more info. We're in the middle of a cabinet meeting right now, so if you could tell me real quick. Can you imagine, like... I'm sorry, I need a moment to verify something, and I just leave and never finish the UC Vanguard quest. I just leave them in the dark up in this cabinet room forever. That report isn't the whole truth. Orlace helped, but Vivictus organized the attacks. And I've got to say, like, my favorite part about this dialogue
The cabinet
choice
requires a response.
is that I'm going to say Vivictus in front of this entire room full of people. And that makes me happy. That makes me more happy than anything else here.
It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was going to end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave
I'm
this
still going to
room.
SSNN or the Freestar
Now,
Collective
that's quite
Board of
the
Governors
accusation you're
if
leveling.
I can.
considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
Why would I make up something like that? I want to hear the response to this, because
I can think of numerous reasons why someone, after learning Victus is still alive, might want to correct that. So I'm not going to accept such a stunning claim without proof.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, man.
yes, Yazin.
Officer,
exactly,
please collect
man.
that recording.
Yazin understands.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Good. Good to hear it. Good. The world will be better without Victus in it. Love that dialogue choice. Barely even need to read the other ones. Nope, that
I'm
one.
inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Oh, this is really interesting, actually. I'm going to say this. Ma'am, I believe the other factions should be involved in securing the Lazarus plant.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Why? So they have another tool to utilize against us?
Were you
I'm
planning
in
another
agreement.
war?
I fail to see the value here.
It demonstrates that the collective of the UC isn't planning to secretly use this down the line. True. But they'll make the argument, well, if they don't, what they don't know won't hurt them.
We're waiting on you, Captain.
The UC doesn't exactly have the best track record, though this would ensure good behavior from both sides.
Having everybody participate in the solution here goes a long way to remembering that we're all on the same side. The human side.
Yeah, Barrett. Barrett understands.
Oh, that is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
Yes.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
Yes.
So, you want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
Yes.
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous.
I like Kukarni,
Using it to
too.
wipe out the terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Terramorphs have caused enough damage. They need to be wiped out quickly with the microbe. I mean, you know, I said I would wait. I keep waiting for someone to tell me what the best course of action is, and I don't think that's going to happen. The cabinet's divided on what would be best. My group's divided on what would be best.
These are topics of the utmost importance. Take your time.
Oh, thank you. I actually appreciate that. I will. I will. But I've noticed a trend where the people that have more science background and training are recommending the microbe, and the people that have less science background and training are recommending the Aseles approach. So that's what makes me lean towards the microbe. I'm also like Barrett's in here right now, and I think I don't know if he has any. I wish I could have asked him his opinion, but I feel like he would also go with the microbe.
Gather your thoughts, and let's continue.
Terramorphs oh my god. Terramorphs have caused enough damage. They need to be wiped out quickly with the microbe.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
Here goes nothing.
Just some of the most advanced microbiological research humanity's ever deployed. Hardly nothing.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
I mean, I've got to ask, right? What's a Class 1 citizen?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah,
You all
penthouse.
have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, The Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly.
Yes, ma'am.
He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Cabinet, Madam President. Cool.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
All right, cool. We got another thing to do with Sergeant Yumi, it sounds like. We just finished a major quest, so I'm just waiting to make sure. I think things are done popping up on my screen. Let's take a look. Wait. This is weird. I can't track this quest anymore, but it's... Oh, I guess this is completed quests? Must be. A decision has been made. We're deploying the microbe to clean up the Terramorphs, and I've been made a Class 1 citizen of the United Colonies. I've been directed to speak to my commander, Tuala, to receive my next assignment and my rewards. So is that an activity then? It is. Okay. So that really was just a 3-step quest.
This is the first step in our long march against the Terramorphs. But we'd be going nowhere if it weren't for you.
Oh, thank you, President. You want to share an elevator? I don't mind sharing. We can stop on your floor. Cool. All right, let's go. So you need to go to this one, right? I'm just kidding. You've already disappeared, right? Nat station. No. It's really funny that the game thinks I need to go to the Nat station to talk to Commander Tuala instead of the Commander Tuala's office floor. Doesn't
They
the
drive a
quest
pretty hard bargain
markers
for
don't
new
handle
recruits.
this elevator very well.
I certainly couldn't say no.
Yeah, me neither, Barrett. They have given me some pretty sweet rewards, and I think we're about to get even more of that. It's really funny, like, Commander Tuala just recruited me. It feels like, even though a lot of stuff happens in this quest, it kind of does feel like he recruited this guy a week ago, and that person's now, like, a hero of the entire United Colonies. He should definitely get, like, some sort of recruitment bonus for that. He certainly deserves it, or a promotion, maybe. Although he did reach the rank of commander after only 7 years, he must be doing something right.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, Commander. It's an honor.
No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself.
I know.
I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All
Oh, good.
UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And
I love
the credits
discounts.
should be in your accounts now. But to
Ooh,
get
how
into
many
your
credits?
penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
So am I just getting the penthouse for free? Oh, 12,000 credits? It's kind of a lame dispensation. Commander Tuala, you do know that when I helped defeat the Crimson Fleet, I got 250,000 credits as a bonus. That's incredible. I mean, if we count the penthouse with that reward, it probably is quite a generous compensation package. I am tongue-tied tonight. Goodness. Y'all have to forgive me. Where's the... No, I know where it is.
Take your time.
Rather drink engine oil than live in New Atlantis, but at least the price is right. I mean, I'm not going to say that. It's rude. Glad to see the UC give credit where credit's due. That's incredibly generous.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
Right, so Dr. Walker's another place I can turn in biological samples. I think I already had one. If I remember correctly, was it Ryujin where I can turn in biological samples or somewhere else? I don't exactly remember, but it's not important because I'm never going to do anything like that. It's just repeatable. Repeatable, like hand-in quest. If you want to sell some of your resources for more money than you get normally for them. I'd like to run a Vanguard mission. Only ever really done the one. Facts. Definitely.
Everything all right?
It definitely was one hell of a first mission, right? I mean, do I have to select one of these to... I don't know what... I mean, I've got to assume that there's just repeatable Vanguard missions that I can either get from a mission board or from Commander Tuwala. Or there's repeatable TMD, right? TMD missions that I can do hunting terramorphs on various planets. Or like collecting stuff
here
they
all
need
day if
for
you've got something else on your mind.
Working on the microbe. But my only goal was finishing out this faction quest, so I think I'm going to say this. I've done my duty, Commander. I think I'm going to take some time off from aliens.
Of course. You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me.
All right, cool. So I can come back and see him whenever if I want to see what those things are about. But I think I have a pretty good idea. Oh, this is awkward. So I don't even have an activity now. Well, let me just get rid of the speak to Percival activity. Actually, wait. Let's put on talk to Sergeant Yumi just for now. Just so I don't forget that that's on the to-do list. I'm going to go to Affilon Realty. I think they're just in the residential district. If I remember... Oh, actually, no. Maybe they're in Mast. I don't know. I'm dumb and don't remember things and really wish there was a quest marker to guide me there, because aforementioned dumbness. Is it this building right here? Might be this building right here. It is. Awesome.
I'm always ready to make a deal. Well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
I'm interested.
Great. You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city.
What do you mean one of? You just told me it was the best.
Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district.
Okay.
You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city.
I'm
now
really
that you're
just
an
happy
owner,
that's free.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Yeah, right. Visit your new penthouse. So that's an activity, at least. Awesome. I feel like this is like important. Well, I guess not really that important, but good like wrap-up stuff to do. So I'm just gonna make sure that we really like clean this out and finish up everything there is to finish up. We'll go check out the new penthouse. We'll go talk to Sergeant Yumi and do whatever side mission he has for us. And then this might be kind of a short video, because I think Barrett's going to be wanting to talk to us soon. But it hasn't popped up yet, so we may have to find something else to do. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Wow, look at all these doors and stuff. Oh, I like that how it's like, it's a lot nicer. The Aquila City Manor has a pretty open floor plan. But it's like, it actually feels quite small. This is the first residence slash house I've been in that feels... I don't know how I feel about different wood grain or wood stains being used between these rooms, but I like how they're like, this is just like a small little like, this could be like a guest bedroom almost, like right off of the main living room and like with a window to the balcony and everything. And then this is my favorite part. I was aware of this from the video I watched about the options you have for residences. It's not even a loading screen. You can just come out here to the balcony. And it's like the balcony is off the back of the building, so you like it's out into nature, into Jemison nature, instead of like overlooking the city, which I kind of prefer. I mean, I can still kind of like, you know, if I want to see stuff from the city, I can see the spaceport down there, and I think that's the mast building right there. Oh, Barrett, be careful, man. It's dangerous out here. I don't want you falling off. But I like that you can just come out here. Well, like, and because it's not a loading screen, this isn't technically outside of the apartment, so you can decorate the balcony here. Like, I can put furniture and stuff out here. And I like that. This thing with the wood, like, curving up the wall is really awkward, but... Dude, I like the, like, mixed marble tile floor. I don't know why I'd ever need 2 sinks in my kitchen, but... It's just a regular fridge, but it's like black. Dude, what's this? It's a pantry? It is. It's like a little pantry room. Again, with like really weird angled walls in here. Just all over the place, but... Oh, look at this nice bathroom. Wow. Is this the master bedroom? What are all these doors off of this? What's this? Oh, the master bedroom has a private bath. This looks even nicer than the other bathroom. Oh, the master bedroom has its own balcony. Looking at the mast building and everything. Oh, I'm starting to get a little feeling some kind of way about this. We're definitely going to be doing some decoration between streams. Ooh, I have an in-unit washer here. Still gonna have to hang up some clotheslines on my balcony, it seems, but it's a nice second bedroom. I could use it for storage, which I probably will end up using it for. But I could also use it for like...
Got a minute to chat?
You know what I could do is I could put like workbenches in here too.
But no
Perfect. Look at Barrett. Barrett with the perfect timing. He's ready to advance his quest. I assume that we're actually going to do the quest now. But that's good. So I need to make my way down towards the spaceport. I think we'll go down there in the most reckless way possible. I mean, I'm good with how everything went down there. Let's save. I'm coming, Sergeant Yumi! Oop, landed a little hard there, but that's okay. Poor Barrett trying to follow me like, what is this maniac doing? Sorry, Barrett. Alley-oop. Really putting this software to the test right now. It did get a little bit of lag doing all that, but I'm still impressed by how you can just like move between districts like that. They're not instanced off from each other. They're actually one cohesive environment. It's just impractical to not have some sort of fast travel since they're spread apart and on different like tiers.
It's good to be
I
home,
just walked...
right? No. Hey, if you have time.
Yeah, Barrett, I know.
Your safety is our number.
Ah,
Sergeant Yumi.
If it isn't my favorite part-time security officer. Crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale.
Do you have any work? I've got time to help.
I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce, but also for smugglers. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate.
I've certainly never done that. How are the smugglers evading the contraband scan?
Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have a fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks. But luckily, we can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down.
Okay. I can find the smugglers for you.
Great. First, speak to one of the technicians over by landing pad B. Ask them if they've noticed any suspicious activity. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with ship records over at Aegis. When you're done, report back to me with your findings.
Okay. He told me landing pad B. Can you tell me more about these ship records?
Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I
do.
finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in the last month.
Oh,
He said
okay.
he'll have a slate ready for you to examine.
Sounds good. All right, bye-bye.
See you later.
Speak to the port workers. Oh, there was a whole thing there. Let me read it. Sergeant Yumi suspects a smuggler is bringing in goods through the spaceport. He's asked me to interview a few port workers and cross-reference their testimony with the information from Aegis. Okay, we can do that.
All unit behaviors are dictated by United Colonies Security Code 12.23.
You will be scanned.
Hey, you there. Hold on, hold on.
Something I can do for you?
I'm investigating a smuggler and checking if you've seen anything suspicious.
It's about time. I've been telling my supervisor about that cargo ship for ages. I'm beginning to think he was ignoring me.
He was. What about the ship is suspicious?
It's the way the crew handled the cargo. They were being way too delicate. The manifest said they were carrying potatoes, spuds. I don't know what was in those crates, but it certainly wasn't that.
What's the name of the ship?
That's the problem. I don't really look at the ship names when I work, just the ID number granted for clearance.
Okay, what's the ID number?
UC576B? I do know it's a cargo class transport, if that helps.
It doesn't help a lot, buddy. All right, let's say that again.
That's the problem. I think it was
UC576B cargo class transport. 576B cargo class.
All right, bye.
576B cargo class. 576B cargo class. 576B cargo class. Knowing how these quests work, as soon as I look at the thing, it's just going to be like, you figured it out, but... UC6B cargo class. Just in case I actually have to do some deduction. I do want to remember that. It's UC6B cargo class. UC6B cargo class.
Excuse me?
UC6B cargo class.
I'm afraid. I hope you're not here to report something. If you are, it means you've seen far too much.
I was told you have a slate for me.
That I do, Captain. Sergeant Yumi said you'd be coming to pick it up. You've got good timing, too. I actually have a friend on a classified star station who sent me this list of potential smugglers the other day. Here you are. Given I owe you for the last job, I hope it serves some use.
Sorry, I just bumped the mic. UC6B cargo class. Classified star station?
That's right. Classified station, top secret projects, etc., etc. And from what my intelligence tells me, you've already been on board that station, Captain. So you don't need me to fill in the details.
Oh, oh, that one. Yeah, I don't need to ask that.
It's been a pleasure.
UC6B cargo class. UC6B cargo class. So it's this first one, the Anansi. Great name, by the way. Cargo class transport, Captain Malawi. I'm not going to try. Primary cargo, pure hydroponics potatoes. Right, like the guy on the dock said. I mean, the Jade Swan, which is also cargo class transport, is definitely a smuggling ship, but I think we've already taken care of that theoretically, right? like, this list is meant to be like before you've done all that stuff, I almost feel like it'd be kind of, well, these are all cargo class, so I don't know. Didn't need to remember that piece of information, but the Anansi with the potatoes. Miss Peacock in the library with the candlestick. What am I supposed to do now? Sergeant Yumi, right. Let him know that mystery solved. It's the Anansi. It thinks the quickest way for me to report to Sergeant Yumi is to go to the lodge. Because that makes perfect sense, right?
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep... Okay, no bounty. You're...
Found those. How's the investigation going? No major
I've got
hiccups, I
information
hope?
on the ship.
Holding your breath won't work.
Oh, I didn't realize for some reason I thought he was done talking. I accidentally talked over him. I've got information on the ship.
Is that right? Do you know the name by any chance?
The Jade Swan, no. Anansi.
Captain Enjai's ship. I think you might have hit the mark here. You had reports of their crew being less than professional on several occasions. Still, being a little rough around the edges isn't exactly a crime. Are you sure it's the right ship?
So I'm gonna say I'm sure, right? Because what he means by the right ship is the ship that the technician thought was sussy, then yes, I'm sure that's the one that the technician thought was sussy. But this line has got me cracking up. You're right. That's the ship. I'm sure.
Then the next step is searching their cargo for any smuggled contraband.
Oh.
And, as luck would have it, I believe the Anansi has already arrived at landing pad B. I'll make the call to have the ship detained until further notice. Your job is to board the ship, locate any illicit goods, and return them here.
Okay.
And if any of the crew puts up a fight, I trust you know what to do.
Oh, I sure do.
Good luck.
Oh, cool. I'm psyched. I thought for sure this was going to be one of those. All the other missions I've done for Sergeant Yumi have been pretty quickly resolved. Like, he sends me out, I go out and do a thing.
Oh, yeah. Exploring the galaxy is hard work. Trust me, I know. But stop by sometime. Let's talk.
Oh, Barrett, for a minute there, I thought Barrett was actually giving me some interesting dialogue, but he was just in a very roundabout way being like, let's talk. Because he's got that one-track mind now. Ooh, can I? It says take. The last mission involved a few more steps,
Take
but
a
it still was
break.
like...
Let's chat.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Man.
I was lost in a memory for a moment there. How can I help?
You can help by just having my back while I deal with this smuggling operation. Yeah, everything else he's just sent us out and we did a thing and then we came back. Even the last one that involved more steps was still fitting that pattern. So this one where we actually come back to him and then he's like, okay, now for the next step of this operation, and sends us out again, is this is new. I like it. I'd be happy for this to become a whole thing, but I doubt it will. I feel like I should probably take a minute to actually read. Sergeant Yumi suspects a smuggler is bringing in goods through the spaceport. I've worked the investigation and reported my findings to Sergeant Yumi. Oh, it's just it says obtain the contraband? Okay.
You with UC security? My
You're
suggestion?
barking up the wrong tree.
You turn around and
Just
pretend
get
you
off
saw
the ship
nothing.
and tell your boss the ship's clean.
Bunch of people talking over each other there, but... Do you see him draw on me? And then he saw my gun and like quickly changed his mind. This captain looks like they want to confront me. Oh, cool. They've got the big Nova Bridge. I like that. Oh, the cargo hold's right over there. I'm guessing I can't get by this captain without a confrontation, so let's do it.
Looking for something?
Yes. Oh, look, a crate of contraband. Man, I like how as soon as I did this, everyone came running over. I wonder if there's a way I can... I know I have on the stealth... Oh, no, that's not even on this. Oh, wait, does this carry... Oh, I do have the stealth thing.
Looking for something?
You don't need to be here. Make it easy on yourself.
I just want to find out if there's a way to do this stealthy-like.
Don't make this
What
harder
now?
than it has to be.
We're going to have to fight our way off the ship no matter what I do, I think. So let's just get it over with.
Well, it looks like you got me, officer. I guess this means my potato shipping days are numbered. But maybe you'd be willing to give a first-time offender a slap on the carpal bone. I don't suppose you're interested in a deal?
Optional, bargain with the captain. I don't make bargains with criminals.
Fine. You've made your choice. But now, you'll have to pay for it.
You're not supposed to be here.
I was wondering. Okay. Yikes. Dusty. Dusty. Let's talk.
I will admit, out of all the companions I've traveled with so far...
What's on your mind?
Barrett has the most, like, interesting, You tell me I don't get her cool spacesuit? Come on, game. Barrett has the least obnoxious ways of asking me to talk to him. I guess is the best way to put it. I appreciate the, like, funny ways he's like, can we talk? Oh, you know what I can probably do while I'm here? Barrett, excuse me. Right, the captain's locker. Oh, there's nothing in it. Okay, never mind. Barrett, buddy, we're just bumping into each other a lot lately, aren't we? I was curious what they had back here, but it's nothing worth giving a darn about. Wonder what this is, like the 2x2 brig, I think. Can't believe it's still a crime to take stuff off the ship, considering I just killed the crew. Ooh, actually. Oh, I'm at 10 ships. Oh well. I can't even click on the pilot seat anyway. Okay. I wonder if I could have run out of the ship without killing anyone. I mean, honestly, I was blinded by my greed for the captain's armor.
You might want this.
Nice try, Barrett. I know if I talk to you to get that item, you'll want to talk about the mission to avenge your dead husband. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for the, like, 30th time. That'd be my bad.
Okay, no bounty.
Oh, Yumi, you're out from
How's
behind
the
your desk.
investigation going? How's the investigation going? No major hiccups, I hope? Holding your breath won't work.
I searched the Anansi for contraband.
Good work. Did you find anything?
I've got the contraband right here.
Very well done, Captain. Time and time again, you come through for us.
I know,
Initially,
I'm the
I felt bad for having someone of your rank doing security, but frankly, you're worth the guilt. In any case, I'll have a team move the ship off the landing pad and do a full sweep. Make sure there's no other surprises on board.
Yeah, they better check for heat
and
leeches.
Before I forget, your payment. It's well deserved.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Ooh, 8 grand. Man, why do your missions pay so much better than the UC Vanguard ones? Yes, talk with Barrett. I know, game. I know. All right, so we've reached that time in the video where I think we've actually reached the point where I'm out of things to do in this game. I'm mildly curious what'll happen if I fall through with this. So let's do that real quick. Since that's sort of a mindless thing I can do, I can talk to y'all about my plans. So the next video, I know I keep saying this like every video. I'm like, the next one we're going to do this, and then it ends up not being true, but
Gagarin has always been a bit of a pit in my stomach. I know it wasn't related to Irvin's death, but it happened right before he died, so the events were both emotionally linked to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to trigger you by coming here. I have other business here, man. If you want to wait on the ship, I understand.
Trading, taking in the collection. Quite plenty on offer.
That was kind of heavy. Like, I wasn't expecting that from Barrett there. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, the next video is almost certainly going to be Barrett.
Hey there. What can I do for you? Welcome back.
I was hoping we could discuss that job handing out recruitment materials.
Oh yeah? You're willing to help me get these passed around?
Happy to lend a hand.
You'll be dropping off recruitment kits to 3 people. Lizzie Aheo at the local watering hole, Chief Pretorius at the security office, and Dr. Keala over at the clinic. I'll pay you for the legwork, but I'll throw in some extra if you can get them to guarantee they'll actually put the materials up. That all sound like it's in your wheelhouse?
Any suggestions on convincing them to share the material?
If I knew how to do that, I wouldn't have to pay someone. But I trust you'll figure something out. So, does that mean you'll do it?
Consider it done.
Good. Once you're done, come back here. I'll have your credits waiting.
Yeah, I forgot that this was... for some reason, I had it in my head that she was just trying to recruit us to the UC Vanguard.
Cap, let me help with something. What can I do for you?
Is that Jessamy?
Apparently, the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority catwalks above the city. You been up there? Good luck.
But I forgot that this is just its own side quest that involves you handing out these, like,
coldest drinks in
pro-military materials. I don't mind doing this, especially considering all I've done for the UC lately. Might as well take it one step further, right?
Thirsty?
I'm here to drop off these UC military recruitment materials.
More of these things? Fine. Give them here. I'll make sure they find their way to the incinerator with the earlier batches.
I like Lizzie. You should hang up these posters, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, yeah? Fine. Let's discuss.
All right, how much is the... No, we're not doing that. I bet Zenata'd be plenty grateful if you hung these up.
Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to help her out. She does tip well.
Folks come here when they're down on their luck. The military's a chance to improve their lot.
Plenty around here who could use some more stability. That's for sure.
I feel kind of gross doing this. I might let her incinerate them after all. Your bar could use some decoration that isn't rust or dust.
Suppose the place could do with a little sprucing up. Okay, I'll put up the damn posters. Now buzz off before I regret my decision.
It's too fun convincing people with Persuade. I love the Persuade minigame in this.
You get crushed under
Well,
all
I
that
mean,
crap
sometimes I love it.
I'm Dr. Keala. Are you a new patient? If you're a UC citizen, I can look you up, get your benefits processed once we've done a workup.
Process my benefits? Not sure I follow.
Oh, well, the UC subsidizes the costs of all services for its citizens, healthcare and beyond. Hard part is, you've got to earn your citizenship first, doing some job for the UC for X number of years. I got mine serving as a doctor in an at-need area, as they lovingly refer to Gagarin. Other folks, they've done it through scientific service, diplomatic posts. Heck, you could even go over and talk to Zenata about joining the Vanguard. They'll get you your citizenship in no time flat. Or so says Zenata.
Well, I'm already a first-class citizen. I'm actually here to drop off some UC recruitment materials.
Zenata warned me this day might be coming. Look, I presume you're not getting paid if I refuse delivery. So here, I'll take them. I'm not about to pull credits out of someone else's pockets. But this is a medical office. I can't in good conscience hang those things up. First, do no harm and all.
Why not put them up? More wounded means more money for you, right? There must be something I can say to convince you to put these up.
I think you're just wasting your time here.
You're not just helping me out here, you're helping out one of your neighbors.
Zenata always has been one of the good ones around here.
It's not like there's a war going on right now. These people wouldn't be getting launched into the trenches.
That's not a bad point. It's not like they'd be heading off to the front lines. All right, I'll put them up. Tell Zenata she wins, okay?
I wonder if there are any mining jobs on Mars these days.
I'm feeling really gross about this quest, but I'm gonna see it through. I assume this is gonna be an easy sell, right?
Help you with something.
I'm here to drop off these UC military recruitment materials.
News in that start coming from my people sooner or later. Sure. Give 'em here. I'll throw 'em up in the office.
You don't want to haggle or argue? You're just going to take them?
Yup. That old piece of leather necks helped me out of more jams than I care to remember. I owe her.
Well, that was easy, thanks.
Sure. Just tell Zeneda she's buying my next drink, alright?
Deal.
Share the catwalks, all right? I don't want to have to fish anyone.
Whoops. Hold on, Barrett. I think we took a wrong
A
turn,
hazmat
buddy.
squad came through here the other day. Said they're cleaning out the
Ooh, you see that? I barely caught it because I walked away, but she said a hazmat squad came through here the other day. Said they were clearing out heat leeches. I must have missed something. You sure did. That's so cool that the NPCs of the world are already reacting to the things we're doing to take care of the terramorph problem.
Sometime later, you want to get together and chill for a bit?
Sure. We could watch the landing pad. I love to watch ships come and go.
There are so many fewer ships coming and going nowadays. Might be a while before we see one.
Oh, that's fine. I'll bring snacks. And some boom reactor for you, since it's your favorite.
Okay. It's a date.
Aw, that's cute. Chief Pretorius and the doctor in the clinic are together. They're a couple. That was a fun little conversation to eavesdrop on from here.
Dr. Keala's not going to give you a hard time, but she's also no pushover.
Look, I've already done the thing. Can you just talk to me, please?
You managed to get those materials passed out? Folks didn't give you too much trouble, I hope.
Far from it. I convinced everyone to put them up. You should be rolling in new recruits.
Really? Never thought in a million years Lizzie and Doc Keala would play ball. Good work. Here, what I owe you for the deliveries.
Yeah, they weren't initially
and for your
interested, I'll
top-notch
admit.
negotiation skills. Thanks again for helping out.
Yeah, you got it. Alright. I think that's enough stalling. We'll just cut this episode short. Next time we're going to talk to Barrett, and I assume Barrett's going to send us on his side quest finally, although every time I say that, it ends up not being the case. What happened? What? Barrett doesn't want to talk to me anymore? Ooh, did he like dislike that thing I just did for UC recruitment efforts? And it like reversed progress I made? Autosave Jemison UC security office. Yeah, I'm gonna reload this. I don't know what caused Barrett to regress, but considering that he's the only content I have left, we're definitely gonna fix that. I felt gross, like the whole time I was doing that. I was like, this feels gross. Like I'm not, like it's on the video. Y'all can see what happened, what doing that quest is like. I'll keep the content in, but I think that's gonna be an alternative timeline sort of thing, because I didn't notice if Barrett disliked any of that, but he must have not liked me talking people into hanging those posters up, and it reversed his quest.
How's the investigation going? How's the investigation going? Good work. Very well done, Captain. Initially, I felt... In any case... Oh, and...
All right, so Barrett still wants to talk to us. Perfect. Goodness. Anyway, yeah, activities talk with Barrett. That's the perfect one to have selected. All right, thank you, gamers, for your patience with me. Next time, we're going to talk to Barrett. Hopefully, it'll be his side quest, and we can spend the whole next video focused on Barrett. And then after that, we're going to enter the Unity. We're going to start, you know, New Game Plus, essentially. And we're going to go back to New Atlantis in a new universe. We're going to travel to the Lodge. And we're going to see what it's like being able to tell Constellation the truth of the universe and everything right from the get-go. Because I think that's really interesting, and it's something I've been looking forward to doing. But I definitely wanted to travel through the Unity again, get that sort of ending thing again, because they should give us some additional information about what happened with the factions after we parted ways with them. So we should get some interesting stuff about the efforts to clean up the Terramorphs and about Ryujin Industries acquiring Infinity Ltd, but, you know, shelving the internal Neural Amp project, and who knows what else we'll get. But we'll travel through the Unity again. We'll get the ending again, essentially the ending wrap-up of everything you've done, now that there's more to wrap up. And then we'll proceed. I'm not going to do like a whole New Game Plus playthrough as part of the series. I think we'll just go back to Constellation and talk to everyone and see what that's like. But next video is definitely going to be Barrett focused, unless he just wants to talk to us again, in which case we might get into some of that stuff early. But that's the tentative plan at least. Thank you, everyone, for watching. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic day.